If you've been considering buying a new construction home in Frisco, Texas, or one of the surrounding communities, then this video is for you. As me, my faithful assistant right behind me there, have been researching which builders are offering the absolute best incentives in today's market. Now, despite what you may have heard or read, the housing market here in Frisco remains really competitive. But if you stick around until the end of this video, I'm going to share with you where the absolute best new construction deals can be found. So let's get into it right now. Hi, this is Andrew with the Andrew Smith team, eXp Realty. And considering how much mortgage rates have jumped over the past couple of years, it should come as no surprise that the new home builders have been gearing their incentives towards financing and helping buyers reduce the mortgage interest rate. Now, I know that many buyers have been looking for relief when we're talking about affordability towards home prices. And there's many that have been sitting on the sidelines hoping that those home prices would fall. But the truth of the matter is, mortgage rates impact overall affordability more than home prices do. In fact, did you know that a 1% reduction in a mortgage rate is equivalent to a 10% price reduction on a given house? Now, as you know, mortgage rates have fallen by over a percent in the last few months. They've held steady a little bit here, especially with strong economic news recently, but they are expected to dip down a little bit more, which is the equivalent of having a price reduction. And the new home builders understand this. They know that they can move the needle more, so to speak, by buying down the mortgage rate than they can by simply lowering the price of the home. Now, the list of builder incentives I'm going to share with you is not all encompassing, and it isn't in any particular order, but it is representative of the types of incentives that are available today in the market currently. Now, the incentives that the builders are offering are usually done so in one of three different ways. Now, some builders are offering what's known as a permanent rate buy down. They are just taking money and they are buying the rate down to a lower rate than what's commonly available, and that's the rate. It's fixed for the life of the loan. Now, other builders are taking a different approach, and they're offering what's known as a tiered rate buy down. And you've probably seen those. They've gone under the names of a 2-1 buy down or 3-2-1 buy down. And they start with a much lower rate, and that rate gradually goes up until it is then fixed for the remainder of the loan. And lastly, other builders are just offering money, and that money can be used towards closing costs, which could be used for a rate buy down, or in the case of someone that isn't bothered, for instance, maybe a all cash buyer, in that particular case, that can just be used towards closing costs. All right, so jumping right into it here. Highland Homes is one of the builders currently offering cash, and that cash can be used to buy the rate down, as mentioned, or cover closing costs. And the current incentive that they're offering is $15,000. And that incentive is available on all contracts written in all of their communities, and it lasts through the end of the month. It has been extended. It may be extended once before, but that is not guaranteed. But it's a universal incentive that they have in place right now. I mention that because not every builder is making the incentives available on every single home in every single community. Now, if you have questions about a particular builder or community, I invite you to reach out. You can call or text the number on your screen right now, and I would be more than happy to provide additional information on a builder or community that you may have interest in. All right, so moving on. Mattamy Homes are one of the builders offering a tiered buy down incentive. Now, for their program, they're offering a mortgage rate of 2.99% in year one, 3.99% in year two, 4.99% in year three, and then 5.99% fixed for the remaining years of the loan. Now, one thing I did want to point out with that, And this isn't just true of Mattamy homes, but it's any time that you see one of those tiered buy down programs. Excuse me, when you qualify for one of those programs, you don't qualify at the introductory rate, but you have to qualify for the final rate. So that can impact certain buyers depending on your credit and your ability to repay. So for instance, in the Mattamy example, you would have to qualify at 5.99%, even though the rate starts at 2.99%. Now, moving on to Taylor Morrison, they're one of the builders offering a permanent rate buy down at 4.99% fixed for 30 years. Now, I would like to point out that that is not available in all of their communities or on every single home. But like with all of the other builders, these incentives that I'm sharing with you today only apply if you use the in-house lender for financing. There are some outside lenders that will match what the builder's doing. I do know of one particularly that does that. But for the most part, these are programs being offered that assume you use the in-house lender. All right, moving on to First Texas Homes. They are currently offering up to $20,000 that can be used towards closing costs, or they are offering a rate buy down with rates that start as low as 3.99%. And the reason I say up to is that's going to depend on the price point of the home and the community on how much incentive they are actually offering. And then the last builder I'm going to cover in this video today is Coventry Homes. Now, Coventry Homes are offering one of two options for you. They are either going to cover all of your closing costs, so you have $0 in closing costs, or they're going to offer you a permanent rate buy down at 5.99% fixed for 30 years. And, a couple of things to point out here as we wrap up is that in these particular situations, you are always welcome to refi at a later date should rates drop below where your ultimate fixed rate is. So for instance, if you're at a 5.99% from a builder right now and rates down the road get back to 5%, there is no problem in refinancing that to take advantage of it. But if rates remain a little bit sticky and stay higher for longer, then there can be quite a lot of cost savings here as well. And also, please understand that obviously not all buyers are going to qualify for these incentives. And as mentioned before, this is not intended to be an all-encompassing list, but is just an example of the type of incentives that are available with the new home builders currently. Now, if you've made it this far, thank you. And as promised, I want to share where the absolute best new construction opportunities and deals can be found. And those are going to be on quick move-in or builder closeout opportunities. Now, I know it makes sense, and the builders do not like holding finished inventory on the book. So if they've got a home that's been sitting, that's going to offer the best deal. If they've also got a home that is approaching completion, that's one that they'd much rather have under contract. And those are the ones where the absolute best deals can be had. In many cases, as I mentioned, not all of these deals are available on every home. And if it's a home that's currently a dirt lot, and it's still to be built, those are the ones that they're not going to be as willing to deal on. And I can tell you that in many cases, we have been able to secure price reductions and discounted mortgage rates for the buyers that we've been working with in new construction communities. So if that's something you'd be interested in learning more about, then go ahead and call or text me. Or alternatively, in the description below, you're going to find a link to my calendar. And I invite you to go ahead and schedule a call at a time that works best for you. Now, I hope that you found value in this video today. If you have, please go ahead, hit the thumbs up, consider subscribing to this channel as I release at least one new video each and every week with information on what's happening in our local real estate market, as well as offering tours of some of the absolute best new construction quick move-in opportunities available. And with that in mind, I invite you to go ahead and stay tuned and enjoy one of these videos coming up next.